Functional decline ICD-10 code. Functional decline ICD-10 code, functional quadriplegia. Functional decline ICD-10 code. There is a great deal of confusion surrounding the functional decline ICD-10 code. This article will explain this code, as well as some common mistakes. Learn the key differences between these two codes, and how to use them correctly. The DSM focuses on clinical significance. This is a crucial aspect of diagnosis, because it determines whether or not an individual has a mental illness or a physical illness. There are two types of quadriplegia, structural and functional. The DSM does not define the term functional impairment, and does not explicitly mention specific areas of function. The ICF, on the other hand, uses the term functioning rather than disability. The ICF includes all aspects of a person's life and includes all of their activities and functions. The term disability means a decrement in a person's ability to carry out daily tasks. Using this definition, the DSM provides the threshold for the diagnosis of a mental disorder. The ICF and DSM differ in the definition of disability. In the DSM, a person's disability may be broad or narrow. Social functioning, for example, refers to a person's ability to engage in social relationships and participate in community life. Occupational functioning includes work-related activities, such as performing jobs. Both of these areas of functioning are affected by the mental illness. The DSM uses the term functional impairment as an umbrella term for mental disorders. This definition encompasses other important areas of functioning. In the ICF, the term disability is used. In the DSM, impairment is defined as a decrement in a person's ability to engage in life-sustaining activities. The term disability is also used in the DSM, where the disability level is determined by the individual's symptoms. The DSM refers to impairment as a decrement in one or more areas of functioning. The DSM includes social and occupational functions as part of its definition of disability. It is not clear exactly what constitutes a functional impairment. The ICF does not define the term as such. It uses the term disability, which means decrement in a person's abilities. This means that the person is no longer able to participate in life. The DSM uses the term functional impairment to describe a decrement in a person's ability to function in various areas. It is used as a diagnostic criterion and is a general term for the deterioration of mental functions. Its use of the term disability is important because it helps establish the threshold for a patient's diagnosis. Generally speaking, the DSM does not offer a definition for this specific criterion. As with the DSM's definition of disability, the term functional impairment is not specific. It is used as a criterion in the ICD-10. In contrast, the DSM refers to the DSM-4-TR. This term does not include other areas of functioning. It simply identifies impairment in one area of life. The DSM aims to measure the individual's capacity to participate in various activities. The DSM does not provide a precise definition of functional impairment. However, it does identify other important areas of functioning. The DSM-4-TR uses the term disability. This term implies that the patient has decreased ability to perform occupational or social tasks. The DSM-4-TR does not specify the level of disability a person has. It is used to describe the severity of a disorder. Decreasing in functioning. The DSM-4-TR's functional decline criterion is defined as the decreasing in functioning criteria. The ICD-10 does not contain any criterion for disability. It focuses on symptoms and a person's overall quality of life. A diagnosis with functional impairment requires a patient to demonstrate that they cannot participate in their occupation. A decrement in functionality can occur as a result of an underlying condition. There are many ways to define disability and functional decline. For instance, The DSM-4-TR recognizes 3 different levels of impairment. Mild symptoms result in a slight impairment of social or occupational functioning. In contrast, severe symptoms involve marked impairment of social and occupational activities. A person with a severe level of disability will have a significant reduction in these activities. The DSM-4-TR will also identify the severity of cognitive functioning and mental health in an individual. Read this. What does functional quadriplegia mean? Functional quadriplegia, quadriplegics, quadriplegics.